Hello. Today I am working on some ref sheets for an animation I need to make. Actually, a ref sheet that or an animation that I've already started making. But I did not actually make a ref sheet for this character yet, because I don't like making ref sheets that much, because it bores me. So this is how I motivate myself to do it. I go on stream, and then I have something else to also be doing. Well, this is actually a pretty old character that I have. But I've never really made a ref sheet for. Her name is Lycanshade. She is the deputy of ThunderClan during my main Warrior Cats fan arc. And I'm using her in an animation that's actually an improvement animation, so I've already animated this character before. I guess in the animation she's technically like in her getting her 9 lives. You know what? We're gonna leave the face right now and just go and do the body. When I'm doing rough sheets, I have this one pose that I always put them in, because I think it looks the most natural, because they're all like stretched out like a cat, and then you get to see the most of their body, so you can actually know what you're drawing. Alright, now for eyes. always have trouble with these kinds of ears, because they look really good when you actually pull them off, but if you get them too thin, they kind of just look like devil horns. There we go, that's what we want. I'm never as good at the far leg as I am at the close leg. Always looks slightly off. Obviously the only way to get better is practice. Trying to give her a lot of kind of sharp angles because that's who she is as a character. His head is quite large for the body. Can I make you smaller, please? You won't move when I tell you to move. Okay. No, it doesn't. Alright, I'm gonna see if this does anything. Nope. Okay, we're just... My tool is just not working. Okay, I didn't lock the layer, but I can't edit it. I was on the wrong layer. Okay. Now we can go back to business as usual. Yeah, that looks better. Now I gotta go back over the whole thing in pen. I'm sure there are easier ways to do this, but I never learned them. I think that's true with a lot of things. Can you tell that I'm self-taught? Yeah, that was not looking right. Symmetry is my enemy. Maybe we can make this a little pointier. Gotta say, I don't love the pen brush on this app. I found a better one, though. Nothing runs on Chrome. I have a Chromebook. Alright, we got someone... Hey! We got someone new watching the stream. I'm working on some ref sheets for an animation right now. How are you doing today? I'm doing pretty well. I've had a pretty chill day. I've got the house all to myself right now, which is great. I'm using Autodesk Sketchbook. It's a free app that runs on Chrome, which is why I'm using it. I keep brushing this with my fingers and leaving little spots, and I don't want to do that. Tails are so hard to draw because you gotta make them consistent in thickness and you gotta make them smooth. So you really just gotta go for it. And then just keep redoing it and redoing it and redoing it until you get a good one. Oh yeah, they can. The character I'm drawing right now is called Lake and Shade. She's one of my warriors characters. She's a ThunderClan deputy and then becomes a leader eventually. In fact, the animation I'm making this ref for is actually about when she becomes leader. So now I'm just going and cleaning up the line art a little bit, making sure I don't have any gaps. Then I need to add pupils because I forgot that. Oh. Let's fix that. I always like to add pupils last because I feel like it kind of brings a drawing to life. What is up with this eye? I've done it like 10 times, but I cannot figure out how to get it to not look squished. You know what, I think because it goes right up to the edge here, it'll look, just kind of bring it in. I think that's one of the best art tips I've learned recently, is that the eyes don't really go up all the way to the side, so you always leave a little gap here. And I also just think I made her a little cross-eyed. That might fix this. Yeah, there we go. Alright, now time for coloring. I'd always do coloring on a separate layer, because my fill tool on here isn't great, and it always just leaves gaps with the line art. And the only way I know to do on here is to just kind of like have to trace the outline again in the color. So that takes some time. Yeah, today's the first time in a while I actually had time to do any of this, because I've been so busy. But I got no homework this weekend, so that's been great. I hope you get your work done. I hope it's not stressful. Oh, yeah. And then when it's tedious, you just don't want to do it, so then when you push it off, it just takes longer. Probably make my brush bigger. That might make this go faster. I'd say that I've been drawing pretty much my whole life. But I got really serious about it about the same time I started animating, which was around like 3 years ago. So that would be when I was in ninth grade, so around when COVID was going on and I didn't really have a whole lot else to do. Um, yeah, I got into it through the Warrior Cats fandom because I saw all these great animations and all these drawings, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. So then my cousin got me a stylus for Christmas, which was great. And then I was just kind of using, oh yeah, that's how it always starts. It's always through the Warriors, the Warriors maps. And especially this Warriors and really just animation YouTuber named Tennille Flowers is probably my biggest inspiration. I've been watching them forever. Yeah, I started this channel, I think, yeah, about 3 years ago. Um, and then I think I've gotten better for a long time. Like, I don't know what I just said there. But yeah, I've just been working at it for a while. These characters have existed longer than I've been drawing them, though. They were part of this little. I think I was the best way to describe it is I was playing Clan Gen before Clan Gen existed. I was doing it with a paper and a pen. And I just had 5 clans that I was keeping track of, and they caught their food. There was quite a bit of drama that they had going on, and then I turned it into a fan fiction, um, which you find out a little bit more about it. I've got like one video on my channel about it, but I need to make more because I said I would, and then I never did. You know what? I to close in this little area. Yeah, Lichen Shades existed since before Bloody Sunsets, back when it was just this little game I was playing. She ended up being quite an important character, even though she's not in any of the clans that are really focused on. Color. There we go. She's looking quite green. She is technically supposed to be gray. I like to make her like a gray-green. Probably not. Nope, that is not what I wanted. But now that's not green enough. Yeah. Yeah, I can still tell she's kind of green, but it's not like super unnatural. And then we mustn't forget our little color palette swatches. What the heck was that? There we go. I keep pressing buttons. I think there might be something wrong with my glove. But this animation that I'm remaking for this improvement map is one of the oldest animations I have. I made it in like half an hour because I was applying to my first ever map, and it said the only requirements is that you have something on your channel that's Warriors related, and then I realized that I didn't. So then I made very sloppy animation called Dream Pot the Moon Pool about some of my Bloody Sunsets characters. And now it's not great to look at, but I'm making it much better, but it's just got like 3 characters in it, and only 2 of them had ref sheets, so I need to make these first. Oh, you're only letting me draw in one eye. Oh, there's the problem. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and this one especially because I made it with my own voice. Like, it's voice acted by me doing 2 different characters. Talking about as deadpan a voice as I am right now. Yeah, fun times. But that's why I love doing improvement maps and stuff, because you get to see how far you've come. I know it's not technically anatomically accurate, but I like giving my kitties pink noses and. Oh yeah. I need to work on I'm gonna do the you know the that one meme with the dang, what is it called? Smallest violin, the world's smallest violin meme, where you have all of your old art then leading up to your newer stuff. I'm gonna make one of those as soon as I get some of my newer art back from school. I went to my grandma's house recently, and she actually has some of my really old Warriors art from I think when I was like 10 years old. And I'm like, Grandma, I can make you better stuff. You don't need to have this lying around. Alright, so this actually does it for the ref sheet. She's a very simple character design. Oh, I dropped my stylus cap. Okay, I got it back. Yeah, so that does it for the Lichen Shade ref sheet. And I'm gonna go back and actually work on the animation side of things after I label you. And this is my animation program that I use. It's called Rough Animator. It is paid to use, but it's the best one that I finally graduated from Flip-A-Clip. I was working in Flip-A-Clip for a long time, but then it just decided that it doesn't work for me anymore. And I don't know why. And I've never seen anyone else talk about the problems that I have with it. I've definitely gotten a lot more confident in drawing over the last couple years. Because before, when I would do animations, I would do as many just still shots as possible because I was afraid of like messing up proportions because I'm drawing the character so many times. And then I realized, like, oh, that's actually the point, and you can't really get better if you aren't practicing. So I'm doing more head turns, I'm doing more motion. Sorry, my parents just got home. I'm gonna turn off the mic for a sec. Alright. I'm gonna do some gardening today. Just got some new seeds. It's still February, but I'm gonna plant them in like my little egg cartons. And then once they're bigger, I'm gonna move them outside. But I was on a hiatus for a while. I think like almost 6 months I didn't animate. And I was actually gonna quit for a while, but then I decided to come back, because turns out depression does things to you that you don't actually think in your right mind. Yeah, so this is the second map part I've done since coming back, and I think I can actually see like a pretty big difference in that. Because the last one I did was Yellow Fang, Broken Star, and I had to do a lot of shading, and this animation app doesn't actually do like multiply layers or anything. So I put it into my drawing app and basically just applied all the colors to the ref sheets that I would need. And then I had to color them all over again with shading, and that was really difficult because Broken Star's got stripes. And I'll have to do the same thing with this one too. And Dreampaw has oh so many spots and stripes, but I think it's worth it. Yeah, maps are great. I've never been in a completed map, but I like just working on the parts. They're great practice because they're so short, So you can really just put a lot of effort into a short thing that'll only take you a couple weeks maybe. Because every time I try to do a big project, I end up just getting stuck. I will do a PMV one day. But just the question is, when is that day? I mean, I have tons of ideas for all of them. Actually, I should start. I have a idea for a Wings of Fire PMV I want to do. Because I'm just starting to get back into Wings of Fire after, what, like 2 years since Flames of Hope came out? I read Flames of Hope and then it was just such a disappointing ending that I was like, oh, I'm not. It kind of like tainted the whole series for me. I think I'm also gonna try to work on like a video essay type thing about how it was such a bad ending for such a great series. And then the other PMV idea I had is all about humans, so that of course will take forever and way more confidence than I have right now. Especially because it's like 3 minutes long. I am working on drawing humans more. Oh yeah. But I've committed to actually getting better at them. I finally got Pinterest, and getting all the reference photos has been so amazing. And I guess, because, like, obviously cats are easier to draw than humans because we don't have such a deep ingrained specialty for recognizing when they look wrong. But also, I've just been drawing cats for longer, so of course I'm better at drawing them. So then I just kind of get discouraged whenever I try to draw a human and it's not exactly how I want. And I gotta suck it up and just practice. But I did a self-portrait this year that I was actually really proud of. And it actually looks not just like a human, but like me, which is fantastic. And I think a big thing is that I just need to invest the time into it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, perfectionism is really. It's a gift and a curse. Because you always want to make things good, but then with art it can't ever actually be perfect because it's subjective. So you just gotta decide when is gonna be enough. Because it can always be better, and when we're perfectionists, then we never finish anything. But it's also good to be kind of a perfectionist, because then you keep pushing yourself to get better. I'm in love with this design for this character, but it's so complicated. Why did I do this to myself? Yeah, she's a very bubbly little cat. That I should reflect that in her design. But actually, she went through a redesign, like a massive redesign, a couple months ago. Or I guess not a couple months ago, I guess about a year ago. Because I realized her other design was way too similar to another design I had. But this is her old design in my old animation. Um, so you can see it's changed a lot, but it's kept some of the most important attributes, like her little tufties on her ears. I love those. But especially because the story that she's in is kind of about the contrast between her and another cat, I wanted to make their designs visually distinct. And as a medicine cat, she can be a little more like dainty looking. Because the other character is, her whole thing is like she's strong, she's... Yeah, Duskpaw, who's the other main character, her whole thing is being strong. She's like a prophesied warrior of the clans. And then Dreampaw is her foil. So she's much more... and also Dreampaw's, or Duskpaw's very short, and I used to have Dreampaw be very short too, but then I made Dreampaw a lot taller, which just adds to that great little dynamic. Ah, it's okay if you don't know anything about warrior cats. I'm just... Yeah, just drawing here. My favorite thing to animate when I'm doing her head turn here is like the neck fur, because it gets to move so much as she's turning her head. I should do some character turnaround animations. That would be fun too. And I'm also trying to get better at drawing the anatomy of the cats. Because this old one, it just looks so stiff. And then trying to add some, like, life and smoothness. When I imported this, I accidentally made it 24 FPS, so now all of my frames are messed up. I need to make them all last a little bit longer, and then I keep not doing that. But I finished the sketching this morning, which was like the hard part. So now I'm just going back over and doing line art, and then I'll color. And then backgrounds. I need to do backgrounds. I've never been very good at backgrounds. They're quite important, actually, it turns out. Especially this one, it's got a cave and water, so I want to make those actually look pretty good. And again, the key is just I need to put the time into it to get it right. But then especially because this is on a much smaller canvas than I usually do, I need to give room to all of the details. And then color is always really hard with backgrounds because you want to make it look natural, but you also want to make sure you can see things. Thanks for everyone who's subscribing. I didn't think that this would get so much traction. Of course. Yeah, I usually stream on Saturdays. The schedule's been kind of weird because I've got sports practices and stuff, but I should be doing this, yeah, most Saturdays because that's when I'm free. I'll probably also have to head off soon. Yeah, I think I'm gonna finish doing the line art for this frame and then I'll bounce. Yeah, color theory is a tricky part, especially when you're doing digital arts, because you're just kind of usually color picking and they're so vibrant already. So to get all the colors to kind of look muted together, I'm definitely better at that in my traditional art than I am in my digital art, but I want to get better. Something I really want to try doing, I want to try paint, like, more digital painting. Because I discovered I actually really like painting recently. So if I try to take that and translate that into um, digital art and doing more of like the color layering and that sort of thing, if it'll maybe go a little more smoothly. And I've never actually done like shading with my own color guide, so that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna need to study up on how shadows work, because this is all in like moonlight and shadow, so I probably won't be using like the actual character colors, but more like silvery versions of them. And then I heard somewhere that like when the light is cold, the shadows are warmer. So then try to figure out a good contrast for that, because I really want to make the atmosphere all nice in this thing. Actually, I got one frame left in this shot, so I'm just gonna finish up the shot and then I'll turn this off. That's one of the great things about art. I'm not really interested in pursuing it as a career, but I just want to like get better at it for the sake of getting better at it. It's nice to see yourself improve. And it's like a goal. It's like I'm gonna like it serves me no real purpose, but I just want to draw a cat better. And be goals that you set for yourself. Oh, I want to put my goobers in situations too. I put them in all sorts of situations. And that really, writing is really something that I want to do as a career someday. So art is also kind of a way to visualize the stories that I tell, and especially characters, because that's another reason I want to get much better at drawing humans, so I can draw my human characters a little more. And then sometimes you don't really know how much better you're getting, because you only see your improvements like slowly, because it's happening so slowly, so you don't really think you're getting better. But then you look back at some of your older stuff, and you can see that you really have gotten a lot better. I want to do a sketchbook tour soon, because I recently found some of my old sketchbooks from actually like 10 years ago. And I'm going to see kind of how I've changed through my life. Because I used to really not enjoy doing art, but then during COVID, I was just kind of looking for something to do, and then I started doing animation and digital art. Yeah, I'm doing yeah, it's an improvement map here, so I'm just getting to um like experience that feeling like all the time, because I can look over here at something I was very proud of at the time, and I'm still proud of myself for doing it, and then getting to come over here and see how I've improved so much with like anatomy and motion and just kind of bringing the characters to life. I think everybody probably got into a new hobby um, during COVID. I know one of the, I think one of the first, like, most searched topics during quarantine was how to bake sourdough bread. Because so many people just wanted to, like, you gotta fill time when you're stuck at home. Alright, so that finishes up the line art for this shot. I'll probably finish the line art for the rest of the animation this week, depending on how much time I have. And then maybe next week we can do some coloring. I'm gonna give y'all a little look at what the whole thing is gonna look like together. Take a couple run-throughs for it to get all smoothed out. Because for some reason this animation app really doesn't like to run things smoothly the first time. I tried to add motion to pretty much every shot, because in the first one it's all pretty much just stills, and that's something I've especially been trying to get better at, is doing motion and not being afraid to kind of draw a character multiple times and maybe not have it all look the same every time. But that's gonna do it for today, and I will hopefully see some of you all next week. Thank you so much to everybody who came. I was I'm so happy that so many people came and watched this. I don't usually um I mean, this is only like my first couple times streaming, but I'm gonna try to get better at it. And thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.